All right, the SAGE test really loves drag and drops. And I talked to my first hour about this a little bit already. But once in a while it'll have like a formula. And we'll just say calcium bromide, which is CaBr2. And it breaks down to calcium plus 2 BRs. It won't give you this part. It'll have CAs and BRs that you can drag. So let me separate this a little bit. Sorry, hold on. All right. So what it will ask you to do is simply drag how this might dissolve. And all it's asking you to do is to drag 1 and 2. It literally is that simple. Now, what I talked to my first hour about, and it's the most common asked question on the SAGE test, is when you still have the same thing. Oops. So CaBr2, and they want you to drag it to a specific place. But they give you tons of boxes. And what they're trying to do is not give away what the answer is. If they just put 1 and 2, then that tells you what the answer is. So don't be nervous that when you put things somewhere, this would be here, that there are empty boxes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having some empty boxes. So it would look something like that, and you'd have those 2 empty boxes. There's quite a bit of drag and drop and manipulation on there, and it has to do with like dissolving or something like the following. So, and I don't know. I've actually never seen one of these, except for on practice SAGE tests. But it'll have a box, and it'll say match the titration. As we just learned that today. It'll talk about titration, and then it gives you like graphs. And it asks you to drag the correct shaped graph for a titration. And so you just got to make sure you grab the right graph. So a titration graph, it would be this curve. Okay? If they asked for an equilibrium graph, hopefully you would recall that it went something like that. Flat, flat, that's equilibrium. Another version of equilibrium. They don't have to cross. They could come up and go down. All we care about is that they're flat. I can't think of any other major curve or graph that we went over. If it's just a linear relationship, you're just looking at a straight, that would be a direct. If it was indirect, it would come down. And that would be something like wavelength and frequency. As your frequency gets bigger, your wavelength, which is usually given as lambda, gets smaller. Anyway, don't be intimidated by the drag and drops. They're pretty simple.